back to Radiant Garden, midpoint of the game. That was quick. That was,
Yeah.
We blew right through those couple of worlds. We're on episode 3 of Aqua, and we're midway through the whole thing.
Yeah, man, I just can't wait to get back here.
It's too bad that we're not going to be able to finish it tonight because I'm not ready for it, since we're going so fast. But you know what that means? That just means that next time you're over, we'll finish it quickly, and
we'll have time for more garbage.
It'll be simple and clean. Time
for
more garbage.
Is that the Kingdom Hearts reference?
Speaking of garbage, what am I going to use that to segue into?
I mean, Aqua's here, so I guess...
Oh, sick burns!
Bad waifu jokes.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there you are.
Excuse me. I'm terribly sorry to bother you, sir.
Oh, what a well-mannered lass you are. I'd be pleased as punch to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for a boy who's not from
You're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed. They don't appreciate it when you do that.
I think I know just who you're talking about. He scampered off toward yon castle in a right hurry.
He scampered off toward yon castle in a right hurry. Well, my name isn't Scrooge McDuck.
Tara.
His feet don't have shoes, but they have coverings.
Why not?
Like, there's a strap that went underneath his foot, and then there was red cloth.
It's
on
so that he
top
can
of his
kick
foot.
dirt onto the poor without getting it, in, without scratching up his feet. Speaking of Speaking of garbage, here's a story that I have. Skyward Sword. At a recent Legend of Zelda concert, Ayanuma comes out and starts talking on stage. Hey man, wouldn't you like to have Skyward Sword on Switch? Apparently somebody was like, hey, do you want to talk about Breath of the Wild behind the scenes? And he's like, you're asking about Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Wouldn't you rather talk about Skyward Sword on Switch? To which everyone responded, no. Which then led to a couple of days later, Nintendo coming out and going, there are currently no plans to release Skyward Sword on Nintendo Switch. Which is weird because so sometimes you get these situations where it's like, okay, we somebody announces something too soon and the company denies it, right?
Yes.
And it gets announced later. Here's why I think this is different, right? Is a couple of years ago at one of the Final Fantasy concerts, the composer was just talking and he made an erroneous statement about a Final Fantasy, there's so many exciting Final Fantasy projects coming up, the 7, remake, all this kind of stuff, and he mentioned a 12 remake, which had never mentioned, and everybody in the audience goes, what, excuse me? And like a day or two later, they released an official statement saying, hey, we wanted to apologize for the usage of the word remake. That was not accurate, but everybody was like, but you didn't deny the whole thing. You just said, so people were like, okay, so maybe it was a remaster, and that was what he meant, and then it was, right?
Yeah.
Like that was announced, not right away, but a little while later. I feel like they wouldn't have just said, no, there are currently no plans to. No, that was a mistake. But I also don't know why Ayanuma would have been on stage.
Yeah, it's a baffling situation, and we are just gonna wait and see what happens. I guess don't have any other choice.
I hope that the answer isn't Skyward Sword. I mean, it doesn't affect me. The people who want it, and the people who don't, and the people who want it can buy it, and the people who don't want it just don't buy it.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. It's just
It just feels like it'd be a waste of resources.
I don't know. It depends. I guess the only way in which I think it'd be a waste of resources, because hopefully porting it would be a relatively simple affair.
If it was, why haven't they ported more Wii U games to the Switch? There's plenty of them that nobody played.
Because Nintendo's stupid. The GameCube can the Wii U can emulate GameCube games perfectly, and it was out for it was relevant for 4 years and not a single GameCube game. The second that they announced the Wii U, I looked at it and said, great, a virtual console that can play Nintendo DS games on the TV. After 4 years, they added 20 DS games, 3 of which were good. No Elite Beat Agents, no The World Ends With You, no Professor Layton, no Final Fantasy Tactics. It was pretty much all first-party stuff. And you get the Mario Kart DS, you get New Super Mario Brothers. Those are good. Those are great games. Why nothing else? And why 4 years? I thought of this the second that you showed it at E3. I was like, oh great, look. I can play DS games on a console.
Nope.
It took me 2 seconds. Why did it take you 4 years? When it took modders 2.
No! Run!
What's that, Joey? You have a thought? Something you want to share with the class?
Hey there, little girl. You look familiar in a few years.
Okay, I'm pausing here because I gotta point something out.
Okay.
It's not really, you can't really see it very clearly because of the current Keyblade that I'm using. She just kind of like, she's scared and she's hiding behind Aqua, and she's kind of raised her hand up and put it on Aqua's Keyblade.
Oh, okay.
That's a plot point.
Yeah.
Is this one shot. And I'll be talking more about, I'll talk about it during this fight because who cares, but I'll let,
Like this.
there's no way I could fight while protecting this small girl. That was like an entrance. He came in from off screen. Like, there was a shot and a thing happening, and then a character jumped in and did something. That was like a shot.
Yeah.
Hurry! You gotta get that girl to someplace that's safe.
Who are you? Why do you have a Keyblade?
I'll tell you later. Right now,
Will
we gotta
you?
stop these things.
You know what? I appreciate it. Aqua didn't waste any time.
No.
It's just, I don't care. You just gotta get this kid out of here.
Wait, what?
She came back.
Everything all
She
right?
she put the kid somewhere safe, and she came back to help Mickey.
She goes to the end of the staircase and just chucks her.
That's how she got to Destiny Islands. She put her someplace safe.
She opened up one of those the gates of light or whatever, portals
Yeah.
of light, and just threw her in.
I gave her amnesia because
Yep.
she was not careful.
Team up with this mysterious man.
Okay, so maybe you remember the weird sparkle spin move that we did with Mickey during the Vanitas fight when we were Ven?
Yes.
Hopefully we'll be able to do that during this fight, and it'll work slightly better because it's against enemies that behave normally. It's against enemies that behave like they're in a video game or something.
Oh. Yeah, you're just kicking butt now. You got the necessary tools. Most of them, anyway.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
It's
Uh-oh.
freaking.
Bring your shot locks out.
Oh my god.
This one works well for him.
Yeah. There we
Hey.
go. All taken care of. We didn't get to see Mickey's little move, but that's fine.
fine.
We will have one more opportunity to see it later in the game. So maybe we'll see it then. Used against an enemy that's also pretty broken. So we won't ever get to see it work. Against the enemies there in that fight, the AoE of it kind of functions the way that it's supposed to.
I thought
Okay.
you were put somewhere safe, little girl.
Ash came back, it's fine. Okay, I have some notes here that I want to read. I find it, so... This is a moment where if you don't think about it, she put her hand on the Keyblade, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's how Kairi has a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I find it very amusing, this continuous stream of trying to explain stuff from the previous games in these games. We're gonna make these games to explain the details that we've overlooked previously, and they do absolutely nothing to explain things from the previous games. Okay, so Kairi can wield a Keyblade because she accidentally had the inheritance ceremony performed upon her. First of all, this actually creates a major problem that will have to be addressed in Kingdom Hearts 3. When Terra did the whole thing, we assumed like there was an incantation you had to do, and it was a whole thing. Apparently, all you gotta do is just touch it.
Does that mean anybody that you hit and don't kill can be a Keyblade wielder?
Let's assume that they have to amicably touch the hilt at the very least, right?
Okay.
Sora literally hands his Keyblade to Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack Sparrow should be a Keyblade wielder, but anyway,
Maybe he will be.
maybe he will be. Who knows? I doubt it'll happen. But if he had a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3, then that would shut me up. Okay, so whatever. She touched it here. That was how she got her Keyblade, right? Then why didn't she use it? Why and how did Riku get it, and how did he know to deliver it to her? Did Riku just find an extra Keyblade lying around, and he was like, I'm gonna give this to Kairi? does Kairi actually have 2 Keyblades? Because she has the one that she got from Aqua and the one that Riku just found and gave to her? Because she was gifted one by Aqua and then Riku gave her a spare? Or was that the one that she was supposed to get because of this that she didn't have, but that Riku had?
She'll be a dual wielder in the next one.
If she hadn't had the inheritance ceremony performed upon her, then would Riku have handed her the Keyblade and it would have just vanished? Would she have been unable to use it? Because where did Riku find it in the first place? Was it just a random Keyblade that anyone can use? Or did that Keyblade that Riku had only materialize into the universe in the first place because of the inheritance ceremony that was performed on Kairi? But if that was the case, then why did it appear wherever Riku found it as opposed to in Kairi's hand? The point is, like, the question that people had after Kingdom Hearts 2, and that they still have after like 3 more games after this one, is where did Riku find that? And how did he give it to Kairi? Why does Riku have a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2 is kind of answered by the inheritance ceremony thing in this game.
Somewhat.
But the main, like, I don't think anybody was really ever bothered by how Riku had a Keyblade. Like, it was not a big...
Yeah, not really.
But
because they showed in the first one that he was capable of at least using it.
But how did he... I mean, there was the problem of before he had one, there were 2 in the whole universe. Like, that was a thing. So I'm not saying that it was like perfect in Kingdom Hearts 2. We already talked about why this is a problem in Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's like the question with Kairi was, how did Riku just pull this extra Keyblade out of his ass and hand it off to her? Where did he get it, and why did he give it to her? How did he... Oh, obviously, she had the Keyblade inheritance ceremony performed upon her. Until you introduced the idea of the inheritance ceremony, that was literally never the question. We weren't worried about how she could hold it. We were worried about where it came from, and you didn't answer that. Like, you created a plot hole for the purposes of answering it, and didn't answer the thing we actually wanted to know.
Just making plot holes, then.
Anyway, for the other than that, this scene is cute, so we'll go.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to do that!
I say that. I'm gonna complain about this scene, so I probably should, I don't know. There's bits of it that are cute. The first half is fine, and then the back half, I'm gonna complain like crazy.
Great.
My name is Aqua. I train under Master Ericus.
And I'm Mickey.
God, I hate Aqua's voice actor so much. We haven't really talked about it so far, I think, during this playthrough.
Bland.
Oh, I'm Aqua. All of my words kind of come out a little bit muffled at the end. I don't really enunciate the ends of my sentences. They all just kind of trail off, like I'm not remembering to breathe.
I have no emotions other than this current one, which sounds like I'm slightly perturbed.
I used to be Yen Sid's apprentice. I came back to him for some more training.
He's very happy about it.
I sense
He has no other emotions.
You think that's why they attacked her?
This
is one. Oh, that's a good screenshot.
People,
no.
I saved it. I saved it. You were saying it was a good screenshot. As I decided, I'm just gonna unpause for a frame and fix that. This is something we talked about previously, like with Vexen magically knowing that Ven had a pure heart or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in other scenes, Terra like looks at the princesses and goes, "Oh, that's a pure heart." Boom. I know, just because I looked at him. And in this scene, Aqua's like, I sense light from this person. I think she might be important. How do you not know with her? You knew with the others. How do you, whatever.
No, it's almost like she's a master and should know more than them.
Whatever.
Yep. I think you might be absolutely right.
So let's abandon her and
If you ask
run off
me,
to do our own stuff.
She must be somebody pretty extraordinary.
Why is she getting like the special star treatment? Other than the fact that, you know, the script knows that we know who she... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are they taking this extra special time of, oh man, she's super duper important. Aqua's met 3 Princesses of Heart already in this game.
Nah, this one's more important.
Whatever.
Yes. I'm quite certain she's someone we're supposed to protect.
Let's join forces.
Hold on.
Oh,
What's no. He reached out his hand and the music started in my head when he said, "Let's join forces." That's
in Smash.
Together we can show the world what. That's in Smash.
Yeah,
Awesome.
As
The
far as I
lyrics
know,
version or the instrumental version?
lyrics.
Damn, the instrumental version's way better.
As far as I know, the only 2 new Sonic songs is that and Lights, Camera, Action.
That's from Studiopolis, right? Yeah. That's a good track. So that's fine.
That's the one that deserved to be in the game.
I think that Fist Bump instrumental is way better than Fist Bump with lyrics, but
it's so much better that it's like, well, I say that it's like it's so much better that it's here, but it's like his world is still just the instrumental version from Brawl.
Okay, I'm just gonna overlay it. I think instead of trying to sing it. So Joey, as soon as I hit go on this, I want you to imagine the ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba, right?
Is the visual gonna be there too? The 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, why not? Ready?
Spam
Are you
X.
ready?
Yeah.
Together we each other.
I love that I'm not even like humming it or playing. Like we both just can hear it in our heads.
Oh man,
Anyway.
you still haven't played that, have you?
No, of course not.
I gotta bring that over one
I
day.
haven't played Forces.
I gotta bring that over for you one day.
If you bring it over, we have to film it. Is the problem?
You're right.
Like as soon as that box enters this house, we have to film the whole game. We could have beaten it in the time that it's taken us to film this amount of Birth by Sleep today.
We could have today specifically.
As soon as that box comes into the house, I'm obligated to produce a full playthrough of it.
Dude, I need to be ready to speedrun that one because there you can actually skip 80% of most of the levels.
I've seen some of those skips. I've seen people trigger those skips on accident.
I mean, that's how a lot of them were discovered.
Oh boy, God, why is that so funny?
Are these for me?
They weren't earlier.
Get you some flowers.
Wait, no.
Thank you.
Maybe
for
she
saving
picked some
me.
more while they were off to this. She picked some extras, you know.
Okay.
Or she,
they're lovely.
or you know what? She's a 4-year-old kid and she's lying because 4-year-old kids do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine.
They make things up to be. It's fine. Whatever. She's cute.
Yeah, no, she really like her in-game
so
model is
sweet.
adorable.
I can't believe that they got such great voice actors for her and Sora and Riku.
Yeah.
Like all three of them actually sound like super good.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name's Kyrie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Aqua. Kyrie, about that light.
Kyrie!
Oh, Grandma.
You remember
Wait,
her from the
Kyrie,
Kingdom Hearts 1
just a minute?
flashbacks?
I don't, but sure.
It's Kingdom Hearts 1, there's one flashback to young Kyrie, and it's Sora has a weird vision where he goes like light speed, like he's in Star Wars for a half a second. And then we see the library on Hollow Bastion, where Kyrie is being told a fairy tale by her grandmother, and it's the myth about the creation of the world.
Yeah.
Which she's actually about to retell in 1 second here. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of your expression of like, huh?
What?
Wait, what are you doing, huh? To now?
No,
This? Yeah.
I just cast a magic spell on you.
Excuse me?
Yeah, she can do that.
One day when you're in trouble,
Remember what I said about multiple drafts of the script giving the opportunity to establish important things?
the light within you will lead you to the light of another. Someone to keep you safe.
Thanks.
Okay, this little charm has been the subject of much debate.
I would hope.
Okay, so first of all, I don't remember if this was addressed in like an Ultimania or an interview or whatever. The general assumption seems to be, oh, that's what allowed when she was thrown into outer space. That's how she wound up on Destiny Islands. The charm like protected her and delivered her to Destiny Islands where Sora could protect her. There was no need to explain that because in Kingdom Hearts 1, Ansem states, I think she's a Princess of Heart. If she is, when I shoot her into outer space, she should be attracted to a force that can protect her. That'll help me find a Keyblade. Like, we already got that explained, right?
Yeah.
Then I've said that, and people have come back and said, well, no, it was probably allowing her heart to go inside of Sora so that she could, hide inside of him in Kingdom Hearts 1. First of all, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that except when they were trying to counter me. So I don't know, maybe that's been addressed somewhere else, but I feel like that was something people came up with on the fly during the streams to talk about it. Also, not something that ever needed to be explained. She was in love with Sora.
Yeah.
He was there. She was being attacked by Heartless. It's fine. I'm flexible with these lore things a lot of the time, especially when they have thematic significance. We've already talked about previously the beauty of Sora and Riku literally fighting over Kyrie's heart, which Kyrie has already given to Sora. It's great. But whatever. And then alternatively, it could be that this charm is going to do something in Kingdom Hearts 3, so who cares? It'll all be explained in Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's time to go.
Okay.
I guess my point is
Wasn't
like,
there also, I just want to state, we're fighting out here, but isn't this place supposed to be super guarded?
yes,
Okay.
I'm sure they were busy.
Yep.
Remember, Ben was here and Vexen said, even though you're here guarding the castle, the boss wants to talk to you.
Oh yeah.
And we literally have no other guards. So don't go in shifts, both go at the same time. Yeah, so this I guess I just bring up the necklace thing in the same capacity as I was talking about the her touching the Keyblade thing of like these games retroactively trying to explain things that either A, did not need to be explained, or B, completely fail to explain the things they're trying to explain and just create new questions. This is just a recurring theme in some of these other games, is they attempt to go back and address other elements of the plot. We already saw this in Kingdom Hearts 2 with like, oh no, Ansem wasn't really Ansem, he was the apprentice of Ansem. Ansem actually was a good king the whole time, and blah 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 blah, whatever.
Oh, bye.
And see you in the next game.
What is it?
That's right, we'll see Kairi in the next game. She's exit stage left. No, she's actually going to be here for a while, because this story takes a while to tell in voice acting.
Long ago, people lived in peace, bathed in the warmth of light.
So this scene, you can look at this two ways. You can look at it from the perspective of you, Joey, who does not have this entire game this whole entire series internalized.
Yeah.
And this is a nice little retelling of the fairy tale from the first game, especially now that it's relevant because the Keyblade War is like an important plot element.
Yep.
So kind of getting this little fairy tale recap of what it actually was and how it worked is important. Or you can look at it the perspective of somebody who has all of this stuff internalized and has had it internalized for a long time, and it's, yep, when we came to Radiant Garden 10 years in the past, we didn't get to see young Squall and Yuffie and Aerith and Cloud. We didn't get to see Ansem the Wise. We didn't get to see the apprentices overthrowing Ansem the Wise. We didn't get to see the experiments or the kidnappings. We didn't really get to see what the society was like. No, we got to see a character who we've already seen in a flashback to 10 years ago tell a story that she already told 10 years in the past to the person she told it to 10 years in the past.
Yeah.
If you're a casual fan, this is a fine scene, and I will admit that it's good to have this recap in the game for people who are not gonna remember that one scene from Kingdom Hearts 1. But then you look at it from the perspective of a hardcore fan, the person who's most likely to care in the first place, and it's like, why the f*** didn't I get to see Squall at some point during this game?
Everyone loved the light.
Except for the ones that didn't want the light.
People began to fight over it. They wanted to keep it for themselves, and darkness was born in their hearts.
Speaking of darkness being born in their hearts, we've been swearing a lot more during this playthrough than we usually do, and I don't know why.
I don't know.
Is it just the game, or what is it? Do you think?
I genuinely I don't know, man. It's the times, I guess.
The times that we live in.
The times we live in.
You know, this is a post Donald Trump Let's Play. The other ones, they were the before times. No, but you're saying like, oh, except for the people who didn't like the light. The whole point of the story is that it's a Garden of Eden type situation where literally everything was perfect.
And then,
but humans are selfish and they wanted more.
Yeah.
So they started fighting over the already perfectly plentiful resources, and that created jealousy and evil and whatever it is. It's a nice little origin story. Yeah. It's a totally fine little compelling fairy tale backdrop for your story.
The darkness spread, swallowing the light in many people's hearts.
I actually like this fairy tale quite a bit.
And the world disappeared. But small fragments of light survived.
I hate it every single time I say the word. No, every time somebody says disappeared, in my head I hear Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow yelling disappear, and then the Chaos Spears going ting 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 ting.
I thought that you were gonna say, God, I hate my life. When that little flash of light came on the screen, all I could see in my head was mobile game currency.
Fragments of light. Children rebuilt the lost
These fragments of light are used to summon.
It's the world we live in
Kairi's
now.
super expressive there.
Yeah.
The grandma still has the static face, but Kairi's like completely fully
In
animated.
the darkness.
She
That's
is
why
cute.
the worlds are
She
still
is, though.
scattered, divided from each other. But someday.
I wonder if this is pre-rendered or something, because the way that it's like cutting between all these different rooms, there's no load time, so this must be like, you know, pre-rendered baked into the hardware or something. Not the hardware, the disc.
Darkness, there will always be a light to guide you. Believe in the light, and the darkness will never defeat you.
Some of that stuff is added on from the original version as presented in KH1.
Power and push the darkness
God, I feel like I'm getting
away.
diabetes looking at her right now.
She's too wholesome. Oh no.
Kyrie. Something tells me I didn't run into her by accident.
But you did though.
But you absolutely did.
She's literally, and she just exited the game, so like.
Just like Mickey exited. He just zipped on
I
out.
guess, you know what, to be fair, she didn't run into her by accident. It was basically a contractual obligation.
Oh, no.
It was basically a contractual obligation that she ran into this character so we could go, oh yeah, it's the two girls!
The ones, whoa, you're the Kyrie of this game.
So I don't think I talked about this, maybe I talked about this in the video with you, but I talked about this on stream a little bit, which was, people meme this a lot, of just the characters going unversed. Terra going unversed, like you can cut to like a super cut of just him going unversed, 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 and Aqua going unversed, 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 and this one which is unversed, it never ends. And like I was talking about, the reason why that's amusing to people is because it's like, it becomes rote and mechanical.
Yeah.
Like surely being attacked by monsters should inspire some kind of reaction from you other than just, oh, this again, right? And so that unless the point is supposed to be that they're being worn down by this like this enemy that's constantly there, which I guess is the point of that line, but like nothing else about her delivery or presentation of the story would imply this, being worn down by these insurmountable odds or whatever. The point being, most of the time the characters see monsters in a cutscene and go, it's the unversed. The one time that doesn't, no, that's not the one time, but one time in Ven's campaign that I really like, which is when he's flying to deep space, and the big boss flies past him in space and almost knocks him off his hoverboard, and he goes, try that again! And he like kicks down on his hoverboard and kicks in an afterburner and chases after it. It's like, emotion, strong reaction to thing, make character sympathetic and empathetic.
I don't think strong reaction is Aqua's strong suit.
Yeah.
Or at least her voice actresses.
My understanding is that the woman who plays her does a fantastic job in some of her other roles on television and other things. So I'm willing to chalk it up to voice direction here. Or, a lot of people are perfectly good actors and they freeze up in a booth.
Yeah.
It's a really different ball game. It's hard to make the transition.
Oh yeah,
to
no,
voice
I
acting.
mean, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not about to make fun of it.
I don't like to make fun of. I try to avoid like talking about individuals in general.
Well, yeah, of course.
So we got Kyrie's Keyblade.
Hey.
This was a weird one because for years people called it Radiant Destiny. I don't know if that was like from digging into files or just the name that the fan base generally accepted. But
They
once it
changed
got an official name, it became Destiny's Embrace. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I like Radiant Destiny better, but it's also because like it was the one that I had first. In the same way that for some people, Yuna Arakami is always going to be Soji Seta because of the manga.
See, I've never heard that in my life. I was gonna text you that the other day when we were talking about the names, because it was like the one for P3 protagonist. I know both of his names and the females now, but it's like
Does P3 protagonist have an official name now?
No. I was saying like the fan one that you were saying, but I'm saying the ones that people call it. It's like the manga one and then the movie one. Mm-hmm. And like for P5, it's the manga one and the anime one.
For P5, it was just there was no manga. It was just for whatever reason Akira Kurisu actually got released beforehand as the official name.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like which never.
So what? So
why change it to Ren Amiyama? Because it's a way worse name. I don't know. Ren is so crappy compared to Akira Kurisu or Kurisu or whatever.
Yeah, no, I love that name.
I guess I say that to be fair. Soji Seta is a good name. The only reason that Yuna Arukami took off, I mean, it's a good name, but the other reason is because Yuna Arukami had a really strong, clear identity, and it set him apart as being this weird goofball, whereas the Persona 5 animation sucks, and Ren has no personality, so people would rather just have their imagined version of Akira in their head, right? Because your Akira picked the weird dialogue choices and played it a certain way, whereas Ren is not interesting. He is.
Yeah, but
even though he's in the anime, he acts like he's in the game.
Yeah, but man, Yu is so good.
Yuna Arakami is so great in the anime, and then like the anime was so influential that they took that and put that into like Arena and Q. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the version of I forget what they wind up called. I think they changed his name to Makoto in the movies. But the Persona 3 protagonist?
Yeah, it was Makoto Yuki.
Yeah, like, and then they kind of gave him a whole, like, they really beefed up his character in the movies, too.
because that's the thing is, like, even in, like, Persona 3, it's like, I'd have to go back through and play it, but I don't feel like, no matter, like, what style of dialogue you chose, there was a
He doesn't have a very bold personality.
No.
That's why so many people prefer Femsi. Because she has a really bold
Oh,
personality.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that one day. But
She
it's like,
she is a flirt.
oh, boy.
She's not down and depressed all the time. She's like, I can't really think of a specific line of dialogue, but like half of her lines of every like dialogue option you get, one of them is like the, I don't know how, like, it's a flirty line of some kind.
Yeah, I really appreciated the movie version. Like, the movies aren't perfect because you're condensing this, like, just huge game into, like, was it 3 or 4 movies?
It was 4 movies, one for each season, quotation marks.
Yeah, and it was fine, but it's like I really appreciated like the extra stuff they added to give him personality and that, and his extra like motivations that you get.
He has a completely different arc in all 4 movies, and they also did a great job of making all of the stuff regarding Aegis like really come out to play in a much more bold and way.
Yes.
Because with Aegis, they hold off on so much of her until the very end of P3.
Oh, yeah.
That they really like had them go through these parallel arcs throughout the movies. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch all the P3 movies. I only watched the first 2 or 3, but I read about the last one, and it's good stuff.
I need to give that a rewatch sometime. It makes no sense to me that Netflix still. I think they still have either the second or third movie on there,
But not the rest?
Just the second or third.
I will say that I think it was I guess it would have been way more expensive to animate, but like the fight scenes in the movie are really boring and just not interesting. Like the character stuff is all interesting, but most of the other stuff I just don't care about.
Yeah, no. The only thing the only thing that really stood out was the fact that like we got to see what the actual fighting looked like, and I appreciate it more than Persona 4's the animations fighting because he actually uses his weapons a little bit.
It's true, and
but that's about the only.
In the Persona 4 animation,
they
they basically just use their personas like Pokemon, and like they take damage when the personas get hit, and it's kind of weird. But I guess my point is like that at least in Persona 4, most of the combat, they just forgot that it was combat and it just became like conversations.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Persona 3 movies, I guess they felt like they still needed to have fights.
Yeah.
And like if you're gonna have fights, do what they did in the arena games, because that's the best version of this.
Yeah.
Is it's their stands. They come out very occasionally to throw like single punches or launch a combo, but you're mostly just using your katana or whatever else, or your kicks if you're Chie.
Man, wouldn't it be cool if in the next Persona game we get in 2 decades from now? Like
I don't know, they've got an engine that's stable now, so who knows?
Yeah, but it's like if they have like I guess like tag team moves with you and your Persona, it's like, you know, something simple, you know, like, you know, pick them up, toss you at them, stuff like that.
And it'd have to be mostly for your party members, because like with the wild card, it'd be impossible to program that many things. And the fact of the matter is that most of the time, like the canon persona for the protagonist is not that good, and you'll never use it.
Yeah, I made him good in P4, so.
I sold Arsene. I burned Arsene immediately to make into other stuff, like without a second thought.
So I never finished my second playthrough, but my goal for my second playthrough, and will be my goal when I go back through it again in New Game Plus, will be to make Arsene a god.
So I should show you this, by the way. Aqua has it. So you remember Mine Square and Mine Shield?
Yeah,
it's like it makes
Seeker Mine. Okay, I saw you a little bit grinding earlier, and I saw that it was going towards them. So that's good. That's cool.
It's not necessarily preferable in all encounters. In some cases, it's better to have them just be sitting there passively. So I'll probably, when we go to final bosses, have squares, or maybe one Seeker Mine and then a square instead. But they're good. They're nice to have. And since our bosses have a tendency to, the endgame bosses have a tendency to go invulnerable and just dodge over mines when you place them, the Seeker Mine means that they'll just find them whenever they're vulnerable and launch them anyway. When they're working properly.
Man, one day when I have time and I hate myself enough, I want to go back and watch the Persona 3 anime that came out years ago.
You mean the Persona, like the Trinity something Persona?
Yeah.
It wasn't really a Persona 3 anime. It just happened to have Akihiko in it, like in the back half.
I thought it was like a. Oh wow, really?
Wait, are you referring to a television show or like an OVA or something?
I thought there was a 13 long, like episode long, like the after years of Persona 3.
There was a show that takes place after Persona 3, and the show came out before, I think either before Persona 4 was made, or...
Yeah, it came out.
It is not about Persona 3, though. It is a new cast doing new Persona shenanigans in a new town. And it just... Akihiko kind of happens to show up in it, because it's like... Again, in a world where, like, the quote shadow operative, the word shadow operative didn't exist until the arena games. It's like, in a world where there are people who know about this stuff and are organized to fight it, it doesn't make sense for shenanigans of this scale to be occurring and nobody responds, right?
That went really well right there, by the way. About how she just kind of disappeared from the screen. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Oh no, every time you go into this fight, I forget that it's multiple pieces.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, well, I hadn't looked into it very much. I just briefly knew that it existed.
I watched like half of it, and it was years ago. I remember it being fine, but I'm probably wrong. Here I am being invincible during this move.
Don't you hate that feeling, though?
Yeah.
The feeling of, I remember liking this, I bet it sucks. Like, I have that with a bunch of anime now. I convinced my friend to buy this one anime, and then after, like... because it was on sale at FYE that we went to. And then, as we were walking out the store, it's like, in my heart, I was like, oh wait, I bet that's awful. I bet it's really bad. He still hasn't watched it, though, so I haven't gotten the verdict.
Speaking of anime, Netflix is making a live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebops.
No, boy. Because their last anime real-life adaptation went so well.
You know, I should actually... I started this now, but we're going into a cutscene. I should probably wait until we're out of the cutscene to talk about this.
All right.
I have some thoughts.
Nice. Yeah. Still as flaccid as it has been.
Yeah, it's fine.
This fight conceptually was neat.
Yeah.
I was liking it until this part.
You know what it needed? I don't know if I've talked about this on a video before. I really think that this game needed... I get the fear of we need to get into the game quickly after people complain about Roxas. And you've played Days. Days takes forever to get going.
God doesn't.
So I get the fear that they want to go quick. I feel like what they should have done was had like some kind of like, oh no, I just got a message from Yensid. There's monsters on a nearby world. We'll say that it's the Castle of Dreams, the Cinderella world, right?
Yes.
This will be a good version of the Mark of Mastery test for Terra and Aqua. You guys should go over there and deal with that crisis. And then Ven follows them. He's not supposed to, but he does, right?
Yeah.
And then when they get there, you would still do like split campaign stuff of Ven would do whatever he's doing inside the house. You would do the bits with them, but then at the end, they would come together to have a 3-man fight against a boss, and everybody would be chummy and happy afterwards, and we would all be good friends together. Then we could go back, Terra could not get the mark, Ven could get scolded, and feel... That would also let us introduce the whole, he never let me go and see other worlds.
Yeah.
Because Ericus could be like, grr, Ven, why did you do that? You're not allowed.
You're but a baby.
Which would give him a better reason to get mad and want to leave. But the main point is it would give us slightly longer to see these characters interact. Like, we'd have a couple more scenes of them interacting while they're on Cinderella World. We could have a couple of fights where they're in your party in addition to the final boss. You would have to make kind of the intro tutorial sequence a bit longer. It would basically be an entire world. But to be fair, most of the worlds in this game are pretty short anyway. I feel like that would have been a really good way to spend more time with these guys as friends and get to know them a bit better. And if we'd had an opportunity to see them working together before this, then the falling out here would have had more weight to it than just kind of coming out of nowhere. But anyway, remember what we were talking about Aqua, like her arc to here?
Yep.
Let's call to mind all of the things that she's seen so far. Let's call to mind all of Aqua's... Can you imagine if you played Aqua first? Let's watch.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay, Aqua. Trust me. That guy in the mask is history.
And Aqua's like, who? What?
You saw the boy in the mask?
Are you guys talking in code?
Yes?
Vanitas.
So that was a new shot on Aqua's face there, her reacting to that. Why did that freak her out? She hasn't heard the name Vanitas. That doesn't mean anything. Like, she shouldn't go, oh, clearly Terra is in league with the bad guys. Because she doesn't know what a Vanitas is.
Nah.
I guess this, I don't know, maybe this sets up the end. What is this dangerous task, Terra? It doesn't sound like what the Master told you to do, since he was just fighting the Unversed and the Xehanort. But whatever, it's not enough for her to react like this!
Only thing I can think of is, like, maybe it's like, he's like, yeah, I dealt with that guy, and then he almost looks like he's defending the guy in the mask. Like, wait a minute, what?
I guess, but is that enough?
No, it's not.
Launch into this reaction?
And what is this dangerous task, Terra? It doesn't sound like what the Master told you to do.
You literally don't know what it is. Like, I guess my point is, she shouldn't be accusing yet. She should be saying, wait, what's a Vanitas?
Yeah.
How does this relate to the, what? Do you have more information about the Unversed and Master Xehanort that could be helpful to our mission, Terra? As opposed to going, thing that I've never heard of before, he must have gone AWOL.
Man, what they should do right now is just find, like, go to the nearest restaurant, sit down, and talk it out.
Let's go to Grillby's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seen what you've done.
Yeah, those things that you've done.
What? What did he see that he did?
That should be me right now, not you, okay? I just don't have the energy, I don't think, until some garbage happens and I say that same thing I've said every time.
You shouldn't put yourself so close to the darkness.
What are you talking about?
Terra would never.
You mean you've been spying on me? Is that what he said to do? The Master's orders?
But she actually hasn't. She's not saying...
She's seen him twice. Once when he talked to her in the foyer and he knew about it, because they talked to each other, and then the next time, she saw his tail light in space and followed him here.
Yeah.
That was it.
And it wasn't even like I should follow him.
It's like, oh, there's Terra.
Secretly.
I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if he has more information about the mission that we're going on.
Like, I doubt she could have honked her space horn to get him to pull over, but...
God, this is such a mess.
I get it.
Terra!
Just stay put. I'm on my own now. All right?
I get it, like trying to give each arc, you know, the different cutscenes and whatever. Like we got that close up on Aqua a second ago that was new.
Yeah.
But it feels really weird to watch the inferior version of just stay put twice after the close up on his mouth.
Yeah, because it's really good.
A decent shot, and then it's just like the anime zoom backwards from him. I don't know. It doesn't hit as hard.
Listen, the Master has no reason.
That close up insert really adds some
If he
impact
has no
to
reason
the
to
dialogue.
distress you, why do you keep accusing him?
You're awful, Aqua.
Go ahead.
This is a new shot. She grips her little friendship charm.
Yep.
And then says,
So now you know the truth.
and now we know specifically what Eric has asked her to do was, hey, if Terra's too much of a bad boy, bring him back.
That was all.
But the Master loves Terra. And you know that too.
Oh my god.
Were you also ordered to take me home?
So sad the way this friendship crumbles.
Now that you're a Keyblade Master,
Ugh.
let it go to your head.
You're an asshole for following orders from your boss.
From your dad.
You can't tell me what to do, Mom!
He's basically everyone's dad. Like, I don't know what Aqua's deal is, but, like, with her parents and shenanigans, but it's like...
They aren't real, they don't exist.
Whatever. Okay.
So we got those... You remember what I was talking about earlier about the Final Fantasy VII, the sevening? Terra leaves, wide shot of Aqua, shot of engineering equipment, shot of the sun, cut back to Aqua.
Terra. Then.
I don't know how to end this scene. You're so deep.
And then after all that, once again,
The Disney Pass pop.
Oh. Well, there wasn't anything new
I'm
for me.
gonna have to go find that page from the comic and put that panel in now. I've talked about it twice. I have to go track it down.
I was really hoping there was gonna be a really stupid stinger so I could say, what do you mean for the third time? But, oh well.
You can't get up there even with a fully leveled high jump. Well, I guess I don't know if it's leveled or not. Well, what am I talking about? I ground forever. I'm level 27. Of course it's maxed.
You ground.
There's no way it's not maxed out.
The past tense of grind.
That's correct. Don't question it. It makes sense when you think about it.
Sure.
I ground up the herbs for dinner.
I've ground up my character.
I ground up the spices, and the peppers for dinner. Shut up. It's a real thing. It's not made up. It's not made up. You heard this expression your entire life. So I'm sure someone might say that like maybe Aqua couldn't possibly run into Braig because like, oh, Terra's like not even fighting him yet, but we've already messed with time in this. Like she showed up on Castle of Dreams instantly, even though Terra already did a world and no, 2 worlds, because that was the ending of his time on Castle of Dreams.
Time should not be an excuse to not have them meet.
Yeah, so the exact comment that I got, because I saved it here, occasionally I screen cap comments that were left during the stream for reference. Neptunal said, imagine a scene of Aqua meeting a wounded Braig and he's all, whoa, Keyblade wielder, stay away from me, I already lost 1 eye. And then I wrote up, good point, not only would, we already talked about this, but good point, not only would Aqua actually get to, this is a bit of a spoiler, remember how at the ending of Ven's campaign we saw Braig showed up and Aqua ran off to fight him?
Yep.
Okay, guess what? That's the first time that Aqua gets to meet Braig.
Yeah.
That's like her, like one of her final bosses is a character she's never met before.
Exactly.
Not only would Aqua get a chance to actually meet Braig, but they would give her a real reason to be suspicious of Terra. Then when he shows up at the end and is evil and tries to kill her, Braig that is, she could go, oh darn, I misunderstood. I should have trusted my friend Terra, and it would be like a drama or something.
Yep.
It would be like a.
But it's not that.
Also, nothing has changed about Aqua's perception of Terra. From trying to reassure Ven to now accusing Terra. I guess I'm wrong. He did mention Vanitas, and Aqua had a reaction shot. So you know what? I was mistaken.
Sure.
And the egg is on my face.
Just as I said it would happen, here's the 3rd one. That book is almost more trouble than it's worth.
He's profiling weird anime characters in clothes. They're here for the book.
The book you need to awaken the powers within you is just inside. Read to your heart's content, my dear.
Awaken the power inside me. Gotta let it out.
Gotta let it out. You haven't even played those games. You can't keep referencing.
I don't care. It's a good song.
It's not a good song.
It's a great song. Shut up.
It's not.
The Pulleye Double Trigger is fantastic.
That's the point, is that it's not a good song.
Well, whatever. It's a good bad song.
I'm
okay?
so happy that they performed it at the VGA.
It was so awful. That performance was so embarrassing.
Oh man.
Look, I will admit my knowledge of DMC is somewhat limited. Though there was some serious confusion during our Let's Watch of Microsoft's conference, because I had to cut that trailer out because Capcom flagged it, right?
Yeah.
And at the end, I think you were talking about was that Virgil. Yeah. And I said, was that Virgil, like who was there at the, because I thought you were talking about the guy in the cloak who was on screen for like 2 seconds who ripped Nero's arm off.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Joshua, who has significantly less knowledge of DMC, said something like, who else could it be? But I think he was just trying to, I think he was just trying to fit in, be cool. People who did not see us watch the trailer, because I had to cut it, thought that we were talking about Nero.
Oh,
and saying,
no.
Is that Virgil? Because he's in blue? They thought we were big frauds.
I'm only a minor DMC fraud now. No, I'm not. I've played. Well, I guess I am. I did play through 3, but I haven't gone back on big boy mode.
You beat 3 at all. That puts you in a certain tier of pro gamer.
I wouldn't even say that.
In video game donkeys, like difficulty in video games video, the chart of like most like DMC3 is at the far end of like just no redonkulous. Redunculous, because he's a donkey.
I don't even want to say this sentence, but it's like it's in the same vein as OG Dark Souls in the sense of it's so much harder when you don't know how to actually play the game. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're going in 100% blind, it's a rough.
It's rough. But if you understand how it works, it's not.
Yeah, because it's
not
like
the biggest.
Like Dark Souls is really tough until you realize, you block light stuff, roll through the rest, and like if you just focus on that, then it's a lot easier.
It becomes manageable. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're coming up on 50 minutes here. I think we should read that I almost said Ansem report. That Xehanort report that we just got, and we'll move on.
Secret
Ansem
report.
Secret, double dark secret, black helicopters. What? Don't give me that look.
I'm trying to figure out what you're referencing with the black
It's
helicopters.
super secretive.
Are you talking about the real black helicopters or the movie black helicopters?
I was talking about the real black helicopters. I was talking about the lizard people.
The lizard
conspiracy
people,
theories.
black helicopters.
The reptilian elite.
Are you talking about
who apparently several, like almost 10 million Americans, almost 10 million Americans believe that we are ruled by reptiles.
Well,
says the clickbait article that is completely just trying to scare Republicans who don't understand anything.
People in one country, I forget, it was like 50% of the population believe in the Hydra folk, which are like the invisible people.
In ancient times, this is young again. It's difficult to say because you could interpret this as being something he wrote throughout his life or something that he penned when he was older.
Yeah.
But I like to read the older ones with younger Xehanort voice just for funsies. In ancient times, no such buffers kept the larger world divided. There were no walls of light enclosing each smaller world the way that they do today. Nothing prevented one from physically interfering with the next. At that time, the world was filled with light, and a great many Keyblade wielders. But without the buffers, the worlds began to squabble over the ownership of the light. You see, they learned of the Keyblade's true use. War broke out as each of the Keyblade wielders struggled to lay claim to an almighty entity known as Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts could be described as an aggregate of hearts. Worlds too have hearts, just like people. Each world's heart is concealed from sight beyond a hidden door. By gathering all the hearts of all the worlds into a single place, one may complete Kingdom Hearts. So, there's the scheme from Kingdom Hearts 1, and a little bit more backstory regarding the same, the spiel that Kairi's grandmother just had a little bit ago. I do find it amusing that they're bothering to bring up keyholes again, since it's essentially a completely dropped plot point within this series.
Yeah.
Oh well. You know what would have been a really great plot for this game?
What?
Let's say that Xehanort isn't gonna possess Terra and become Ansem's apprentice or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he does that. Maybe he's colluding with Evil King Billy. Maybe we're shifting up the plot and he's colluding with Evil King Billy Zane, or he's just colluding with the Ansem's apprentice Xehanort, and Old Man Xehanort has a different name, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's say that Leonard Nimoy's scheme was actually that, like, hundreds of years ago, all the keyholes were sealed, right, by the Keyblade Order, but that is kind of passed into ancient knowledge.
Yeah.
And maybe Ericus dies, and he's like, oh no, big dark army is coming. Me as the other master, you three, you need to go and start unsealing, or sealing, quotation marks, these keyholes to protect the worlds when they're actually unlocking them because it was taken care of ages ago, and they actually help the apocalypse happen or something.
Huh.
I don't know.
That would have been neat.
Random thought.
Hey, maybe that is going on with another trio.
Yeah, somewhere else. That's a different game. That'll be Kingdom Hearts, Death by Awaking.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Death by Awaking, 3/4 over 17
3/4 over 17, with featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series and Knuckles. I haven't gotten Blade Charge yet. What do I need to get it? I could stop for 2 seconds and what am I talking about? We need to end the episode here. What was I was just saying we need to end the episode. We'll move on next time to more Birth by Sleep shenanigans.
Yay.